The Galactic Council's chamber hummed with the translated voices of 1,000 species, their collective arrogance filling the crystalline dome like toxic gas. Ambassador Sarah Chen sat motionless in the human delegation's corner, her face a mask of diplomatic neutrality, while fury burned in her chest. "The humans," announced Vextar, the Reptilian Council speaker, his forked tongue flicking dismissively, "are to be classified as a civilian species. Their military capabilities are quaint. Primitive projectile weapons and chemical propulsion. They lack the neural fortitude for true warfare." Laughter rippled through the chamber, chittering from the insectoid Zeph, harmonic tones from the crystalline resonance, and deep rumbles from the massive Gorvani. To them, humanity was a curiosity at best, a liability at worst. Sarah's neural implant buzzed with an encrypted message from Earth. "Operation Classroom is green. Show them what humans do best." 3 parsecs away aboard the stealth frigate Phantom's Edge, Colonel Marcus Reaper Rodriguez received the same message. His weathered face cracked into a predatory grin as he turned to his team of 12 specialists, the best humanity had to offer, invisible to galactic sensors, undetected for 6 months. "Ladies and gentlemen," Rodriguez whispered into his comm, "school is in session." The Thrakari hegemony had been the most vocal about humanity's civilian status. Their military fortress of Carthul orbited a gas giant, bristling with plasma cannons and protected by shields that had never been breached. It was considered impregnable. The Thrakari never saw the humans coming. Rodriguez's team moved like ghosts through space, their ship's adaptive camouflage bending light and energy around them. While the galaxy's warriors relied on brute force and overwhelming firepower, humans had perfected something far more dangerous: asymmetric warfare. Sergeant Lisa Phantom Park, their infiltration specialist, had been born on Luna and raised in 0G. She moved through the station's ventilation systems like water, her enhanced reflexes and cybernetic implants making her faster than any organic being had a right to be. "Perimeter guards neutralized," she whispered. "Their night vision is terrible, and they can't see beyond the visible spectrum." Amateur hour. While Park disabled the station's defenses, Lieutenant Chen Wei, no relation to the ambassador, worked his electronic warfare magic. The Thrakari had never encountered quantum encryption cracking or viral algorithms that learned and adapted in real time. Their computer systems fell like dominoes. "Firewalls down, communications severed, and I've got control of their environmental systems," Wei reported. "Want me to turn off their artificial gravity? Always fun to watch reptiles flail in 0G. "Negative," Rodriguez replied. "We're not here to kill them. We're here to teach." The team moved deeper into the station, their actions coordinated with terrifying precision. Humans had spent millennia perfecting warfare. Not just the technology, but the psychology, the tactics, the art of making an enemy defeat themselves. They reached the command center without triggering a single alarm. The Thrakari commander, General Sektar, sat in his tactical chair, reviewing reports of minor pirate raids in neighboring systems, completely oblivious to the fact that his fortress had been compromised. Rodriguez stepped out of the shadows, his team flanking him like death incarnate. The general's eyes widened, his scaled face showing the first real fear he'd experienced in decades. "How?" Sektar stammered. "Lesson 1, Rodriguez said, his voice conversational. "Civilians don't exist in human culture. We're all soldiers. Every human child learns strategy through games. Every teenager studies historical battles. Every adult understands that warfare is about more than just superior technology." Park materialized behind the general's chair. "Lesson 2. We've been fighting each other for millennia. We know every trick, every weakness, every way to turn strength into vulnerability." Wei's fingers danced over the command console, bringing up tactical displays. "Lesson 3. While you've been playing with energy weapons and shields, we've been mastering information warfare, psychological operations, and adaptive strategies." The display showed the reality of their situation. Every major Thrakari installation was compromised. Their entire fleet had been tracked, analyzed, and targeted. Their communications were monitored, their supply lines mapped, their weaknesses cataloged. "Your shields are impressive," Rodriguez continued, "but they're designed to stop energy weapons. Our kinetic penetrators go right through them. Your sensors are advanced, but they're calibrated for known threats. We became unknown. On the main screen, data streams showed similar operations across Thrakari space. Human teams had infiltrated every major facility simultaneously, a coordinated strike that should have been impossible for a civilian species. But General, Rodriguez said, his tone almost sympathetic, this isn't an attack. It's a demonstration. We could have destroyed everything, but we chose to simply visit. Sektar's communicator crackled to life with reports from across his territory. The same story everywhere. Humans had appeared from nowhere, demonstrated their total vulnerability, and then simply waited. What do you want? The general asked, his voice hollow. Recognition, Rodriguez replied. The next time the Galactic Council discusses humanity's military capabilities, you'll have an accurate assessment to provide. Back on the council station, Sarah Chen's implant chimed with a new message. She allowed herself a small smile as she stood to address the chamber. Honored delegates, she began, her voice cutting through the ambient noise. I believe there's been some confusion about humanity's classification. The chamber's main hologram activated, displaying tactical data from a dozen simultaneous operations across Galactic Council space. Every major military installation of the species that had voted for humanity's civilian status now showed compromised security, with human operatives standing politely in their command centers. The laughter died instantly. Vextar's scales had shifted to a pale, fear-mottled color. This is an act of war, is it? Sarah asked innocently. Our teams are simply visiting. No shots fired, no lives lost, no property damaged. They're tourists, really. Sightseeing in your most secure facilities. She gestured to the display showing Rodriguez's team, though I suppose tourists with their particular skill set might be considered something other than civilians. The Gorvani delegate, his massive frame trembling, spoke in a whisper that nonetheless boomed through the chamber. What are humans if not civilians? Sarah's smile widened, showing just a hint of teeth. We're the species that spent 10,000 years perfecting warfare against ourselves. Every human you've met has been shaped by that legacy. Our diplomats, our traders, our scientists, our artists. We're all products of a civilization that has made conflict into an art form. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. These weren't soldiers demonstrating human capabilities. These were the humans they dismissed as soft, weak civilians. The motion to classify humanity as a civilian species, Sarah continued. I believe we can consider that. Withdrawn? Vextar's forked tongue flicked nervously. The classification will be reviewed. Wonderful, Sarah said, settling back into her chair. Class dismissed. Across the galaxy, human operatives began their quiet withdrawal, leaving behind enemies who were now very much aware that in a galaxy full of warriors, humanity had evolved something far more dangerous, perfect soldiers who could pass for anything they chose to be. The lesson had been learned. Humanity wasn't civilian or military. They were something the galaxy had never encountered before, a species where the distinction between the two had never truly existed.